So while there was some hope of de-escalation last week, at this point the war very much rages on in Ukraine. Moscow's war machine isn't slowing down. 410 civilian bodies were found in Kyiv, which has been and in a region that was retaken from the Russians. Ukraine has demanded crippling new sanctions on Russia from major Western powers over a massacre in the liberated town of Bucha, where 300 residents were killed by the Russian army. Russia, meanwhile, has denied Ukraine war crime allegations, calling it completely fake news. The Russian military also struck an oil processing plant and fuel depots around the strategic Black Sea port city of Odessa. As Putin's forces retreat from areas in northern Ukraine to neighboring Belarus, Ukrainian military said that its airborne forces have taken full control of the town of Pripyat, which is just outside the decommissioned Chernobyl nuclear power plant and the section of the border with Belarus. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, meanwhile, has accused Russian forces of committing genocide in Ukraine. Zelensky also said that citizens of Ukraine will not bow down to the policy of the Russian Federation. And India Today has been getting you all the updates from the ground, first-hand accounts of exactly what's happening. And here's what's played out in Bucha that shocked the entire world. The Russians have retreated, but bodies have piled up on the roads. This is from a Kyiv suburb, and these images are beyond horrifying. Gaurav Sawant and video journalist Lalit Joshi visited this particular city to witness the aftermath of the massacre. Viewer discretion is advised. It's very, very disturbing what's happened in Bucha.
The stench of rotting flesh, burnt bodies. This car, for example, as you can make out, an explosion took place very close by. There are shrapnel marks all over, and the shrapnel has also pierced the windscreen and killed those inside. A family, you can see bodies still inside this car after so many days. Devastated, lying on the road. A man, a woman, a child, and there are bodies that are also lying on the roadside. Those who were killed in the shelling in this area. And this place in Bucha perhaps witnessed very bad, very intense fighting and shelling from both sides. Russia trying to move towards Kyiv, the Ukrainian army trying to stall the advance, and the battlefield was here in Irpin and in Bucha. But today, finally, when agencies have come here after the Russians retreated towards Belarus and the Ukrainian forces have taken control of this area, it's only now that medical services are arriving here to retrieve these bodies, and there are a number of them lying on the roadside, in front of buildings, in ditches. The Ukrainian army says some of them have their hands tied behind them and they were killed in cold blood. Some others killed in shelling. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Bucha, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today. What is actually heartbreaking in these images, we'll just walk. They live here, they eat here, and they've had nowhere else to go. So bad is the situation that Tatya has just buried her child who was killed in shelling right here. And she broke down as she explained that to me, that the child must be very cold. So she made a cup of tea, and she's put tea and her child's favorite chocolates on that grave that has been just dug here. And there are other graves that have been dug in this area after the shelling in Bucha. The situation here, extremely heartbreaking. The manner in which these people have survived close to 40 days of an intense Russian attack, and Ukraine armies fight back in this area. With cameraman Lalit Mohan Joshi in Bucha, Ukraine, Gaurav Sawant for India Today.
For the last 40 days now, people in Ukraine have been leaving their homes. They've been fleeing the war-torn nation and taking refuge in neighboring Poland. India Today's Moshmi Singh gets you this ground report.
Наша славна Україна зажурилася, омитують червону калину під підіймемо. Нашу славну Україну розвеселимо.
So that's the spirit. यही है यूक्रेन की वो spirit, संघर्ष की, बहादुरी की अलग मिसाल. ये सब बच्चे जो हैं वो खरसों से आए हैं जहाँ पे अभी भी लगातार युद्ध की स्थिति बनी है. मारिया है यहाँ पे, किरीव है. What's your brother's name?
Yaroslav.
Okay. Naughty brat. Having a lollipop. Lollipop.
Da.
Kiriv, where have you come from? And you miss school?
Yes. For class and some
Maria is saying
from
something. Maria.
We come from Kherson and from Nikolaev. The way was very difficult. Мы ехали очень долго, 4 суток заняла дорога. Ехали под обстрелами танков, под летящими истребителями над головой. Через блокпосты русских было очень тяжело, у детей огромный стресс. Но переехав границу через Одессу, нам очень помогли волонтеры, добрые люди, помогали с жильем, с едой. По дороге через Румынию, через Венгрию, Польшу. На всех границах нам люди старались как-то помочь. И с сим-картами, и со связью. В общем, огромное спасибо всем, кто помогает Украине, кто помогает нашим людям, нашим детям, нашим женщинам. Просто безмерно благодарны. Спасибо.
थैंक यू मारिया अपनी कहानी बताने के लिए. और यहाँ पे आप देखिए इस तरह से यहाँ पे जब ये पहुँचे तो इनको किताब and what do you have in your hand? Okay, cards and you like this place? You've come here?
yes,
You want to go back home?
yes, and
So there you are. Thank you for talking to us and that's the story unfolding on ground zero. यही कहानी है यहाँ पे जहाँ छोटे छोटे बच्चे दूर यूक्रेन से आते हैं पर यहाँ पे वो अपनापन तलाश रहे हैं. और जब यहाँ पे लोग मिलते हैं जो उनको घर जैसे लगते हैं, परिवार जैसे लगते हैं, तो एक पूरा विश्व जो है एक बड़े फैमिली की तरह यहाँ पे उनका स्वागत करने के लिए, उनको अपना बनाने के लिए बैठा है. ये अपने आप में एक जीती जागती इंसानियत की मिसाल है. कैमरा पर्सन परमिंदर के साथ मौसमी सिंह. An exemplary example of how every drop really counts and every hand of help strengthens humanity. Here you can see that people from Ukraine are getting help here at the Wrocław railway station where all the information is being provided, pamphlets, brochures, information from the online information is being given. You can see some information on the information board, and that's a band of volunteers, a sea of volunteers at Wrocław who really made it count. You can see this is the volunteer center. We'll take you inside and show you how Yuri is one of the man in charge here, and also along with the band of women and men who are making it count. They've got a big huge smile on their faces. We just spoke to them, and here you can see a sea of help. Small things. If people leave their homes, they shouldn't feel lost. They shouldn't feel that they've left their homes and they are in a strange world. A home away from home. Let's look at it. You've got jackets and you've got banners. You've got strollers right there. Bags. Especially the entire help is focused on women and children. That's the key to the entire stretch of help that you can see here. Toys, especially for children who've left their toys, left their school, left their home, and left all their loved ones, perhaps their fathers, back in Ukraine. Poland has really opened a gate of help with cities after cities, helping the people who are actually away from home, and importantly, Wrocław scripting history with the refugee refugees, when they come, this is the kind of extent of planning that's gone into it, you know, sweets, and this is also your home, a home away from home, just making them feel special, making them feel that they do belong somewhere and there are people who are concerned and worried for you. That's the picture that you see at the Wrocław railway station, and this is not the only city in Poland. That's one reason that Poland has become one of the biggest examples as far as, you know, giving shelter to refugees from Ukraine is concerned. An entire influx serving as a transit gate, serving as a huge shelter for the homeless who have been torn and ravaged by this war. With video journalist Parminder Sharma, this is Mosmi Singh in Wrocław, Poland for India Today.